Station in the world playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
You really want to know who's on the radio? Come on. Let's talk about it.
Jeffrey. Let's talk about it live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Watching is the best decision you'll ever make. Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Call or text in live 478-569-6474. Hashtag Let's Talk with Jeffrey. Check us out on www.instinctradio.net or download the Instinct Radio app in your Apple or your Google Play Store.
Let's give them something to talk about.
It's almost showtime, people. Let's tune in to see what Jeffrey has in store for us tonight. And here's your host, Jeffrey L. Miller.
Instinct Radio, what's going on? Facebook Live. It is time for Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Every Saturday from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. right here on Instinct Radio. This is how we do it. Now, listen, I want you to get by the phones. I want you to call us at 478-569-6474, or you can text us at the same number, 478-569-6474. Now, listen to me. Every now and then I come across some people that are what I like to call those behind-the-scenes superstars. Behind-the-scenes superstars. And we have one of them here with us today. Now, before we really get started, I'm going to show you a promo of her product. This is a product that she has created. She is the owner. She has the patent on it. This is hers, all hers, and it just makes me proud. Now, this is something called the elevator promo. I saw this, and when I saw it, I just tripped out. I fell on the floor laughing. So before we introduce our guest, we want to take a look at this promo. This is the elevator promo for the Makeup Bullet. Here we go. Okay, now did you see that? Did you see how quickly that all transitioned? Did you see how quickly that happened? That was in like 5 to 10 seconds. Maybe not in real life, but that was really, really quick. Now, first of all, we have the lovely, I don't like to address women as lovely because they're much more than lovely. They're intelligent, they're talented, so I'll say the amazing Eva Jane Bunkley. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. I'm sitting up here tweeting about it right now.
Good deal. Good deal. Okay. Now, look, let's get into it. Now, makeup has been around forever. Mm-hmm. Forever. A lot of people think this is a modern phenomenon. It's not. It's been around forever.
No, adornment, yes.
Absolutely. How did you get into makeup?
Well, I kind of happened into makeup. It wasn't my first choice for my career.
Okay.
I went to Ohio State, and I moved down here in the early 90s, and I wanted to dress people. I was a fashion major.
Okay.
But my senior year, I decided to take one theatrical makeup class. I said, this could come in handy, and I enjoy makeup, so let me try this out and learn about the bone structure and contouring and all that.
Okay.
So when I moved down here, I did a little bit of styling, but I found that I was getting makeup jobs easier than the styling was kind of falling into place, and I enjoyed the makeup more. So that's just kind of 24 plus years later.
24 plus.
24, just a little over 24. Yes.
Okay.
It's been that long.
So you started when you were 10.
Exactly.
There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Okay, now let's do this. First of all, let's back up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing that I really, really get excited about is when I see entrepreneurs in our community. Absolutely love it because I think that's the key to wealth in our community.
Yes.
People owning the businesses that are in our communities. First of all, tell us who you are. Tell us about you and tell us a little more about your journey.
Okay, well, I wear many hats. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I have 2 sons that
Okay.
are 12 and 13 now. And let's see, I'm an artist, just kind of all around. My other side, it's interesting when people meet me as a makeup artist, then they might see me in my other life, which is I'm an indie filmmaker.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm actually that person with the camera in my hand at times, or directing or editing, or, screening a film
Good
that I've
deal.
produced. And I just enjoy the creative process in general.
Good
So
deal.
I don't like limiting myself
All right.
and saying, okay, well, makeup is all you do. So I'm kind of like on my 3rd career when it comes to the inventing something.
Okay.
Because launching a product to market is it's a different animal than actually doing hands-on makeup or producing a film. It's about relationships very much, which I love because I'm very much a people person.
Absolutely.
I love meeting new people. There's a lot of travel involved. And then I'm used to doing interviews and that kind of thing, but to get to talk about this
Right.
and product creation and the invention process and patenting and trademarking, that is exciting to me because I meet so many people who, well, I've got an idea, I don't know where to start, that kind of thing. So to be able to share my journey when it comes to that, because when you own the rights to what you've created,
Right.
then it gives you just more options. So I'm kind of learning the whole, going to speak at different events. Like that's kind of where I'm going now, like lots of panels. I get asked to be on panels and that kind of thing. And then I'll always get the sidebar emails from somebody that was in the house like, hey, I heard you speak and here's what I wanted to run by you. And I love that. I love,
deal.
encouraging people because although it's not easy, it's possible.
Good
And
deal.
it's not about where you end up with that physical, tangible thing. It's about that journey for me all along the way. I mean, ending up with something physical and tangible is wonderful, that end result of all that you've done. But the meeting the people, the traveling to Italy to a trade show, being able to, for my husband and I to celebrate 14 years at a trade show in Europe was like amazing.
Wow.
So we worked, we played, and we were able to combine that. And that's just something that we were able to kind of take with us.
Good deal. I understand. Now, I'm so excited about this. I forgot to set the segment up and everything. Listen, this is a segment that I don't get to do as often as I would like.
Okay.
This is a segment I call The Boss is Black. The boss. Now, we can substitute boss for the owner because the boss can be the manager and they can be black of somebody else's company, somebody else's product, somebody else's vision. This is yours. So I would change it today to say the owner, the creator, the one who owns the intellectual property rights is black.
Yes, I
That's
am.
more fitting.
I am.
Wonderful.
For those of you who can see me,
Yes,
you see that.
absolutely, absolutely. No shame about it.
No.
All right. Now you mentioned being married and having children. So,
Yes.
okay, can you describe the impact of being an entrepreneur or your adventurousness when it comes to reinventing yourself on your children?
Well, for one, they know that mom and dad, because my husband, he works hard at what he does, and he has kind of a niche career in what he does. He does fireplaces, and he knows everything, every in and out and everything. So he's like so in demand. And then with me, with the beauty industry, they've gotten to go to trade shows with me. They've gotten to see the process. They've gotten to see this from the beginning, when it didn't exist, when it was just words in mommy's inventor's notebook of something she wanted to do. So I go to their career days at their school. And when I walk the halls, like I went to my son's school the other day, and one of the little girls, she looked, a little black girl, she was like, oh, you, like, because I've been to their career day so many times, and then they can see, and they'll say, yeah, my mommy, she's an inventor, she made that. And one of my sons, he was playing a video game with his one of his classmates, and was like, oh my God, I Googled your mom, she's famous. And I'm just like, just because he can find me on the internet. It was so funny. So, but they take a lot of pride in that.
Yes.
But I don't think that, I think it gives them knowledge that there's no limitations
Good deal.
to what they can do. And yeah, you can work for a company, and that's an option, but you can also create your own. So I think that's I think sometimes, like, even when I was growing up, I did not know that you didn't have to go to college. Like, that was something that wasn't even presented to me, like, as an option.
Sure.
So, I mean, that is maybe a good thing, but some people, they grow up thinking, oh, well, I can't do that. So I think when you kind of open the door for possibilities in people's lives, and that's what I've tried to do with my children, just kind of open the door with possibilities. And of course we push college, but I mean, if you create the next app that's going to put you over, of course that's always the analogy. If you make this app that makes you rich by the time you're 18, then you don't need to go to school. But I mean, just those life skills,
Right, absolutely,
are what they're seeing.
Fair enough.
And I hope that's helping to mature them in some way when it comes to their business acumen.
You know, I believe it's an example of you telling your children what to do and then you showing your children what to do. They're watching, they're absorbing all of this stuff, and it's changing the way that they view the world and opportunities and what they can do. So you and your husband are to be commended for that. We need more of that now. Now, don't get it wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a good career.
Oh, no, nothing
There is
at all.
absolutely nothing wrong with ownership. Love it. Great deal. Great deal. Great job. All right, let's keep on going now. You know, I got some questions for you.
I
Some
got
questions
answers.
for you. Here we go. First of all, tell us about your product. It's called the Makeup Bullet. How did you come up with it?
Well, I've told this story a million times, and I guess I tell it the same way every time. I need to flip it around a little. But
Okay.
for the bulk of my career, I've worked in television news. I was a makeup artist at our local Fox and our local NBC affiliates, and I still work in news in some capacity. But it's a very fast-paced and hectic environment. It's, a hard deadline all the time. Look, this is when you're going on air. And as a makeup artist, you hope you have the luxury of people sitting in your chair when they're supposed to, giving you all the time that you want, but that does not happen in real life. So I found myself rushing to do things, and when you rush, you're not always setting things down in order. So then my makeup area ends up chaotic, and I'm always searching for something. So I'm like, I'm spending more time looking for things when I get in this tizzy than I am like actually putting makeup on somebody's face. And I found the thing that I was looking for the most was my blending tool, my makeup sponge.
Okay.
Because that's like kind of the go-to. You can use it with your creams, your liquids, your powders, and you want to create that flawless finish.
Okay.
So I'm looking for the sponge, and my anchor is sitting in my chair, and I'm trying to get them to set on time, and I'm just frustrated. And I'm like, where did I put that thing? And I said, if it could just stay on my finger, that'd be one less thing I'm looking for. And it was like, ding, ding. There you go. So that was where the concept came from, of just wanting it to be more convenient and user-friendly and right there attached to me so that I wasn't wasting time. And it took me many years to kind of step out and actually do it, though. So I'm very thankful to God that he either discouraged everybody else that thought about it or blinded the minds of people or whatever until I got my butt in gear to do it.
Understood. Now tell me about that, because that's where a lot of people struggle with the getting started part. What held you back?
Just self-doubt. Really? It just seemed like such a high concept. Like, how do I make that? I can't remember and say that it was a money thing. I think it was just like an unknown thing. I mean, when you don't know how much it is to do something, it may as well be $1 million, quadrillion dollars or more than you have to do it.
Sure.
But, once I did get started, it wasn't as much of as many barriers as I put up. It wasn't that hard. Now, there were people that discouraged me. I can remember when I called one manufacturer that was, because I looked into manufacturers that manufactured foam and that could work with me in this. And I called one company, and the lady was just like, oh, that's going to be really hard. You should just not, you should just sell that idea to somebody else because it's going to be really hard.
Wow.
It's going to be real hard. And the thing is, I was just researching and looking for because I had found manufacturers. I had a prototype in my hand at that point in time of a company that could do it. And I'm thinking, and after speaking to her, my spirit was kind of down. And then I had to kind of wake myself back up and say, wait. I already did it. Like, I have this thing.
You have the prototype.
It's just now for me to just keep moving forward. So there's always going to be that other voice. But to me, I tell people now with the invention process, even if you have a stupid idea, somebody told you it's stupid, maybe in the back of your mind you think maybe it's stupid. I say, still do it. I say that's no reason not to. Because even as you walk out that process, the next thing that you do and the next thing and the next thing are going to be easier. And I was listening to something, it was an interview, it was a study that was done, and it was talking about business startups. And it said that women are more likely when they fail in the beginning, or when their business fails in the beginning, or when their funding falls through or whatever, to give up and quit than men. Male entrepreneurs will just, well, let me just keep going on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And if you continue on that path of just trying something new, eventually you will succeed.
Sure.
I mean, that's just, I think it's a principle of just, a law. Eventually you will come up with something because you will get more shrewd in your thinking, and you'll say, oh, that's why that didn't work.
Okay.
But if you never try the first that, then you're not going to move beyond that in your mind, and you're just going to stay there with, I had a stupid idea and it didn't work, and I don't want to do this again.
So let's walk through the process.
Sure.
You're working with network news, and you're improving the process. You've come up with this concept. You meet somebody and they give you discouraging words.
Oh, you're going to meet those people.
Of course. Now, for you though, after you heard that first discouraging word, how did you keep yourself going? What finally got you back right?
And I'm still, we should be constantly learning and changing and growing. And I'm still growing in some areas, in that just surrounding yourself with the right voices. And not that you should totally be moved by other people or that should rule you, but I do believe it's good to have wise, godly, supportive counsel around you. Not people that are always going to butter you up, but people that are going to give you a balanced approach, but mainly they want you to win. That's their heart.
Sure.
And you can tell that. I mean, it's something in you that can tell if somebody's just a hater or if somebody really wants you to win and they're just giving you constructive criticism. They're two different things. So, and some people in their own just meaning well, bless their heart, like the lady I was talking about.
Yes.
But that's just not the type of person I surround myself with, because that's somebody who's stuck in a company that they don't like. They had a hardship. They're projecting that onto you.
Yes.
Because it didn't work for them.
Fair enough.
So, because the thing is, when you work in a hospital, you realize, oh my God, there's so many sick people. Oh, but you got to get outside. There's a bunch of well people out here too. There's a bunch of people who are succeeding, who are making it, and I can be that person.
Absolutely.
So I think, well-meaning people can be the ones who trip you up, because it's like, you may mean well, but it's not doing me well. So I have to surround myself. So that's my circle of friends and support. I just, chew the meat, spit out the bones, even on my Facebook, but people on my social media, they're pretty much very supportive.
Deal.
Very supportive.
All right.
So,
Now, the makeup bullet, from everything that I've seen, has really been gaining a lot of steam. It has good market share. It's innovative. Now, how have you handled the competition? Has anybody else come along and tried to do the same thing?
Oh God. There's always that.
Yes.
There's a lot of people in China. There's a lot of them, a lot of folks.
Absolutely.
Like 1 billion, I hear. And, there have been companies there, and I'm constantly fighting them as far as like taking down listings and selling. I had one company, they had pictures that I took with my own cell phone up on their site, like, hey, we make this. And I'm like, no, you don't. So I really, I do what I can, because I'm still a very small company. So I do what I can. You might send out the cease and desist and, see what comes back and, try to fight it as much as you can legally. But my main focus, and that is what I have to concentrate on, is the positive. Because, and somebody might disagree with me, that's a lawyer. I get it. I know that you got to protect,
Absolutely.
but I'm not, in partnership with Mr. Wonderful with his army of lawyers, yet or whatever.
Got it.
So I read something that was so neat to me. It was like, in order to keep somebody down, like you have to stay down there with them or
You have to
something
agree
to that
to it.
effect. It's like you got to be there
You
pushing.
have to agree to be down.
So it's like, I'm not trying to stay down. So maybe 2% of my energy is in that. And the other 98, I'm moving forward. I'm progressing. And the more that I grow this brand and the quality behind the brand, because this is made in the U.S., it's premium materials. I vetted a lot of different materials. I had phone coming from all over. I'm like, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Right.
It was specific properties about it. Because for one of the differences that this has over my competition is you do not have to wet the sponge. And a lot of people are into wetting their sponge, or you have to wet it in order for it to soften up.
Hold on one second.
I know, you're
I
not
don't
going
know
to get
nothing
it.
about wetting the sponge. Tell me what the difference is if you were to wet the sponge versus, I don't understand. Help me understand.
Well, see, a lot of the sponges, they're either a little rougher when they're dry, or they're so tight as far as the pore structure. They're so dense. That it's not really going to accept and deposit makeup well unless you wet it.
Okay.
So I purposely wanted a foam that you did not have to do all that with, that it would be soft and supple enough, not going to eat up your product. There's a fear of that. But I mean, I need a sponge that's going to pick up a little and deposit, pick up a little, smooth it around your face. So, but you can wet it if you want to, but you don't have to.
Okay.
So remember we talked about options?
Yes.
I love options.
Okay.
So, but I do tell people, because sponges swell, these type of sponges, they swell.
Okay.
So you don't want to wet the whole thing, then stick it on your finger. It's not going to fit. So you missed it a little bit. That's, getting a little deep, but.
Yes. I'm like, wow.
I know.
Swell, missed. I don't get it. Now listen. We're going to show the Makeup Bullet commercial in just a second, but I have another question for you.
Okay.
Now, you've worked with a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people.
Uh-huh.
I want to know what your fan moment was. You had a chance to do makeup for this person, and you had to get your act together because you became a fan. Who was that person for you?
Oh God! And you are so gonna laugh and not be able to be like what? It might sound lame, but it was Governor Deval Patrick.
Governor Deval Patrick.
That was my fan moment.
Tell us about it.
His makeup was like, oh my goodness. I was on my way back from the gym one morning, and I was listening to a radio interview with him. And he was telling his story, and he talked about the day his father left, and then the reconciliation after, and he was, promoting his book. And I had tears just streaming down my face. I said, who is this man? I have to know more about his story. So I bought the book, and no lie, I'm reading 5 books at a time all the ways, because, once I'll just switch. And so I got about halfway, maybe 3/4 through. I don't know.
Okay.
So then I get a call. This is like a year or two later, and I'm getting called to do his makeup for a news segment. The next day, I dug that book out. I started from the beginning. I just read the whole thing that night. It took me a couple hours, but I just got through the whole thing. I was like, I want to be able to know the questions I want to ask him, because I'm very much into the concept of either independent boarding schools, perhaps for my sons.
Okay.
And he talked about his boarding school experience as a poor boy growing up on the south side of Chicago, and just the culture shock and what it meant for him as far as his trajectory. And, because I'm very much about educational opportunities for my children. I've homeschooled, I've done private, I've done charter, I've done magnet, I've done everything with them. I mean, they've been through all types of systems, just trying to find the right fit. And possibly I'm looking at boarding. So he talks so much about that. I was enthralled with just his arc of his story, and then just becoming the governor of Massachusetts, and then why he became governor, and just his family story and life story. So when he sat in my chair and everything, I'm just like, see, he has no clue. He just has no clue. He's just like, okay, the makeup artist. But I'm just like, oh my God, I can't contain it. But that was my true fan moment that came right to mind.
Right.
But I mean, there's been Cicely Tyson. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Like,
How was that?
it was, I mean, I was just very reverent. You know, it's just like all this woman has done and meant, and you know, so it was kind of that. I'm just like, I just want her to be happy with how I serve her.
Absolutely.
And then Gladys Knight, that was really cool. I prepared her one time for a New Year's Eve performance she was given. It was just me and her in her hotel room, and I'm just like, I am in the hotel room with Gladys Knight right now. Nobody's around. She trusts me this much. This woman don't
Good
know me from
deal.
squat.
No
So-
pips? No pips at
No
all?
pips,
All
just
right.
me
That's
and
what I'm
Ms.
talking
Knight.
about. Nothing
and I'm
wrong
just
with that.
like, you know, so, you know, I had the opportunity to do Shaq about a month ago. Kobe
Now,
right
how-
before he retired.
Well, I saw the picture of you and Kobe. You were working his makeup. Now, how was Shaq in comparison to Kobe?
Oh, very different. Kobe was, you know, he was it was a different situation. It was just kind of a sit down interview type of thing. So just kind of did his makeup, hello, introduced myself, did him right on set. He didn't come to the makeup area or anything like that. It was just very light, just kind of get the shine off.
Okay.
With Shaq, it was a little different because we had a whole day taping on, you know, so it was a little more interaction was available, but not much, you know, but he was cordial. Both of them were just, you know, real cool to be around. So, I mean,
Good deal.
opportunities like that. I mean, it's not like we're going to be BFFs after, be like,
Absolutely.
hey, you know, keep it professional, do my job. You know, that's all I can ask. Speak when spoken to. It's just like, you know, keep it
Understood.
professional.
Good
Yeah.
deal. Well, listen,
Yeah.
we're going to take a look at the Makeup Bullet commercial.
Awesome.
Then after this, I got some more questions for you.
Okay.
All right, here we go. The Makeup Bullet commercial. Check it out.
Process of discovering something amazing. A cosmetic applicator like no other. The Makeup Bullet is the only one of its kind. A finely sculpted, washable, multi-use cosmetic sponge that fits snugly on your finger, giving you the type of precision, control, and high-definition finish achieved by professional makeup artists.
Oh, this is so cool.
You can apply and blend foundations, moisturizers, powders, blushes, shadows, and more in the quickest, most natural way possible with the stroke of your finger. Imagine no more dropping your sponge. Blending around your eyes has never been easier. You can even hold your other beauty tools, like brushes, without putting it down. The Makeup Bullet lets you quickly blend, smudge, and smooth, resulting in a flawless, camera-ready makeup application.
I love this.
The Makeup Bullet, the new must-have tool in your makeup arsenal.
I hadn't seen that one in a minute.
You hadn't seen that one?
No, I forgot about that. Was like the first promo.
Got it.
Very first one.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
now let me ask you this question:
Okay.
the people who might have sensitive skin, the people who might have eczema or something like that, what's the best demonstrated practice for them when it comes to makeup?
Well, when it comes to makeup, there are a lot of brands that are hypoallergenic. I always tell people just because something is quote unquote natural doesn't necessarily mean that if you have sensitive skin, that's going to be the best thing for you because, you know, you have such a positive connotation. Oh, it's natural. But people are allergic to things in nature. So you might need something that was synthesized in a lab.
Sure.
To work with your skin that's not going to give you any adverse reactions. So there's lots of hypoallergenic. I mean, the Makeup Bullet is hypoallergenic, but there's a lot of hypoallergenic makeup lines and non-comedogenic, meaning they don't clog your pores.
Okay.
Because if people have challenges with, say, like acne, they don't need things that are going to clog and that. So they need to look for products that don't necessarily clog. And then washing their makeup tools, making sure that they're sanitized and that kind of thing is going to be key.
Okay.
And a lot of those sensitivities, it might not necessarily be the makeup. It might be just you have a lot of bacteria built up in your tools, in your brushes, and your sponge. My girlfriend, sometimes I'll see their brushes because I'm a makeup artist. I have to clean mine in between everybody that I put them to their
Absolutely,
face.
absolutely.
But them, you know, they might just go a month and just, it's like, you might want to shampoo that. So, yeah.
Good deal. Now I have a daughter. She is about to turn 18 next week.
Awesome sauce.
Okay, she's been bugging me about a tattoo. It's not gonna happen. This is the first time anybody's ever rang this bell on this show. But I want you to know I'm allowing it because she's co-signing. It's not gonna happen.
You know,
All right,
I
so-
was thinking about tattoos today.
Okay.
They were just in my thought process.
Okay.
And I'll share when you're going to finish your thought.
So here's my question. Now, when my daughter was growing up, of course, she would play in her mother's makeup. And as she got older, I would notice that, okay, she's really starting to wear this stuff. I didn't like it. I still don't like it. But, she's, you got to let them grow up.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing I saw her do that I thought was a bit of a mistake is I thought she put on too much makeup. And I just want to know, what are some common mistakes people make when it comes to applying makeup?
Okay. So Eva's makeup look today is totally different than Eva's makeup look, say, when I was in college.
Okay.
I used to love extreme makeup just because, you level out eventually, and maybe you don't.
Okay.
Maybe life's a stage for you forever, and that's where you want to live.
On the stage of life.
And you might just have the personality to support it. So I'm real, when it comes to girls, I'm like, God did not bless me with girls, but I am praying for a granddaughter because I was raised by my grandmother.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I guess that's what you're doing. I'm going to have a very special relationship with a granddaughter. But I tell my sons, I say, you know what not to bring home. Like, I'm just letting you know right now. It's not like I don't like big personalities and all of that because I like people with flavor. However, so anyway, I don't necessarily, I think if she learns proper technique, even if she was more dramatic with it or extreme or liked to paint, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. What I think needs to be taken into account with the balance is, are you happy with who you are? Because lots of times all of that is, I want to be like the trends. I want to go with the trends. And why are you doing that? That's always my thing, like just the underlying. I don't mind you wearing a lot of liner and wings and contouring and just beating it to the gods and all that. I don't mind all that.
Beating it to the gods.
But I just need to know, like, why? What is it? Are you not enough? What is it? So with the whole thing with like tattoos, I have two. They're right here, my brows. I like. No, seriously. I used to do micro. It's a tattoo technique where you can fill your brows in. So I was performing this on other people, and I was like, man, I can't keep doing this. And people are like, so what'd you do on you? I'm like, I'm not doing my eyeliner. I'm not doing my lips. Okay, I'll fill in. I'll put a little hair strokes on my brows. They fade. It's hardly there. So I can't really claim I have tattoos. Because when it comes to the decorative and designs and all that kind of thing, I'm like, my personal thing is I can't commit to it because I just change. And what I liked 5 years ago, I might not like now. And I'm not as committed to say, okay, in 15 years, I'm going to love this. And if I cannot say that, but I've always said if I'm 99 and I want one, I'll probably get one then because it's almost like, it would have been there, but I'll have no regret.
Right.
Sort of in that space.
Okay.
But yeah.
Fair enough. All right, now let's talk more about the product.
Okay.
Now tell us about you getting your product out in the market, whether it's in the brick and mortar store or, virtual. Tell us what you did to get it out there.
I approached it in phases because when you first start with the product, you might think, okay, I need to get it in Walmart or whatever that big, company that has 1,000 locations or whatever. You might think that's what I need to go for. But you cannot despise small beginnings. Starting with just the specialty shop or whatever and supplying like one-off mom and pop retailers. That's where I started because, for one, I had to get my supply chain and everything kind of smoothed out and down. Because if you get into a super big place like a department store and all your stuff isn't smooth, it can jack you up for the future. So there's a learning curve. And there's also, when you're dealing with, say, the mom and pops, they might just, email you a PO. And you're like, okay, I'll email you my invoice back. And it's easy. But when you start getting into those big companies, they use third parties. And that third party is going to charge you monthly for their service, whether you get a PO from that company or not. You're going to be charged for that. So... And then the insurance that it requires. I pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for insurance every month just so, if somebody does claim, hey, this broke me out. No, it didn't. But, you got to all of those big retailers are like, we can't, put this in here unless you have all of the undergirding that we need. So when you start to play on a field like that, like I'm like, I don't have a huge staff of people and I don't know enough. So starting small with the mom and pops and going to the trade shows, I went to beauty trade shows and I could talk to my peers, other makeup artists, or I could talk to other beauty lovers and I could say, hey, try this. And then that was kind of my test market. And then what I found is at those shows, a lot of the little stores that I would love to be in, they were happy to have me. So as I started to get more attention, and I was sowing seeds and putting product, and if I met a celebrity, I'm going to give them my product. If I met another makeup artist, I'm going to give them my product, like the super famous ones, like the Sam Fines and those type of people. So then one time my product popped up on Housewives
Which one?
of Atlanta.
Okay.
One of the housewives was using my product. It was Phaedra's and Williams. Oh, what's the young lady? I'm still trying to.
Did she just ask me who the young lady on Housewives was? Like, I know. I don't know.
It was Phaedra's makeup bullet that I gave her, and the young lady came in and like used it, and it went like.
Was it Candy?
No, it wasn't. It was before Candy. I think it was on the show. I'm not
Was
sure.
it Portia?
Portia.
Okay.
Portia. Yeah. See, you know the
no,
Housewives.
No, you know why I know Portia.
No, I don't.
You should.
Are you related to her?
No. I'm a man.
You know, I'm a man.
I'm going to keep ringing this bell till you get it.
Okay. I don't
Atlanta.
get it.
I don't know how she don't get it, but I'm going to ring the bell one more time.
Don't ring it one more time. It's not helping.
You really don't get it? Have you seen how Portia looks?
Yes, I've seen how she looks.
That's how I know who she is.
Anyway, so Portia used my makeup bullet.
Okay.
On air. Thank you, Portia. Thank
Good
you,
deal.
Phaedra.
Good deal.
And Phaedra, she's talked about it. There was an article on BET's website, I believe it was. And I used that and promoted some. And, you just continue to get the word out. When you get that type of support from the community, just at large, I mean, having a patent as a Black woman, it's a very, very small percentage.
It is.
And to create something from scratch and not necessarily reinvent the wheel. I mean, I didn't necessarily, I haven't come out with a makeup line or anything like that. Like, that's really cool and everything, but that wasn't my desire. I wanted to do innovative stuff that nobody has done. So I have other ideas. It all takes money, of course.
Sure.
So I'm working this. It's been about May. It'll have been on the market for 5 years. Its debut was May of 2013 at a show in New York.
That's incredibly impressive.
Oh.
Because when you think about the business life cycle, some businesses don't make it past that first year.
Yeah.
You're coming up on 5 and it's still
Coming up on
growing.
5.
And most of your growth has been organic growth.
And it's been, like my first worldwide, as far as like overseas, was the Middle East.
Wow.
So my first distribution was Saudi Arabia. The women there, like, they would post, they love the product. I'm just like, man, this is amazing.
Good deal. Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
When it comes to the industry, how diverse is it? The makeup industry. And as you're getting to the other side of it where you're an owner, how diverse is the marketplace?
Extremely. I mean, when you say diverse, I'm thinking when I go to a beauty show, I mean, you see all ages. Some people, they'll bring their 12-year-olds who are into makeup.
Good deal.
I mean, they're like, those are going to be the next makeup artists. Like, they have a passion for it early in life. And I don't discourage that. I'm just like, that's awesome. I just really, really want to make sure, when my concern is always just feel okay about you. Even if you don't right now, just work on that. But there's all ethnic, backgrounds that I see at the show. Lots of boys who wear and do makeup and can beat a face better than lots of women. Somebody sent me a email the other day of a young man who was 12 years old on Ellen and could just beat his face to where you're just like, 12, and they had the presence, and I'm just looking like, and I wasn't like that when I was young. I like to play in it and everything, but the way you can almost do makeup like a pro from how social media, everybody can be like a pro, and there's the big self-taught. I'm self-taught, Well, you learn from somebody. You just, didn't learn from them.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you got it from somewhere. But it's a hugely diverse industry, and I'm glad that it's getting more diverse as far as skin tones and that kind of thing. I think people are bringing that out more. I think, like for instance, Iman's line always had, she had a really, really beautiful dark tone that was not when it first came out, but was added like a little bit after, I believe, was Earth 7, and it's a deep, but then like with the Fenty line coming out by Rihanna, and how it's got so many shades to address so many undertones, and from the lightest to the darkest. So I think that as beauty becomes more pervasive as far as just on social media, and of the tutorials that are on YouTube, I saw a statistic that more than 50% of them are makeup tutorials. Now, I know that there's all kind of tutorials. My son was watching one on how to build a robot arm when I left home. And my husband,
arm. Okay.
Yes, that's his science fair project. And then my husband, every time he has to do a little car fix, it's, let me do a YouTube video. So, but half of them are beauty.
Good deal. Wow. Okay, now I got to know this question.
Okay.
Where does the beat the face? Where did that come from? Beating the face.
Beating the face. I really don't know where beat face came from. We've been saying it for years and years and years. There's one wonderful influencer that I love, has been a beautiful support for me.
Okay.
And she goes by Beat Face Honey.
Beat Face Honey.
Beat Face Honey. Tatiana Ward. Shout out to Tatiana. I did a collab with her through a box, a subscription box, where she chose some of her favorite items, makeup items by founders of color, basically. And the Makeup Bullet was one of those that she kind of curated and with her box.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Now, before we get back to the product, we have another video that I want to show. This is the fastest bullet yet. Before we get there,
you're going to show that one?
Yeah, I'm
going to
show the fastest bullet yet, because when I was going through doing my research, I'm like, okay, let me just check this.
That's so
wow. This is hilarious. Okay, not hilarious, but for me it was hilarious.
No, it's fine. It was one of my first ones too. Yeah, that
was hilarious
back in
for me.
2013, I think.
So here we go. This is the fastest bullet yet. Let's play it. Average of 7.62 minutes. The devil is a lie.
That was a study.
The devil is a lie.
Yeah, I think with the advent of YouTube tutorials, people are taking a whole lot longer because they're really wanting to get all that contouring and sculpting down. So yeah,
now,
maybe
that was impressive. I'll say this. If at the time, if my wife was able to get ready that fast, we'd probably still be married.
Oh, stop.
We got a couple of comments on Facebook. Here we go.
Okay.
Hey, Rhonda, how you doing? All right, Karen Carrington says, congrats, Eva. Go, boss lady. 5 years is a huge success. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so
thank
tell
you all.
what's next? What's coming next with the makeup bullet?
Okay, so it debuts actually in the UK next Tuesday through a huge department store there called Debenhams.
Okay.
So it'll go throughout the UK in the next year. That will be the next market that we hit. And then let's see, what else? Russia. It's beginning to kind of get distribution in Russia and 4 surrounding countries. So just increasing distribution. Ulta, right now we're doing a test on their online, or it's available online. You know, the ultimate would be if they and when they pull it in stores.
Absolutely.
And all of that has to do with marketing. So, you know, I would ask your listeners and viewers if they would just, you know, help spread the word about the makeup bullet.
Okay.
Because really, when you move into those big, huge, you know, retailers, it's distribution. It's moving the product off the shelves, and it's getting those numbers up, and it's that marketing. So, you know, it's spreading the word. It's grassroots still for me. Doing a lot of speaking, that kind of thing. And I heard the boss, like I'm speaking at a lunch and I'm on a panel next week, the Bosspreneur with Becky A. Davis. Love her.
Good deal.
Becky A. Davis. Hey, Becky.
All right.
So, so just continuing to get out. I really want to come out with my next innovation. And it's all in just when the time is right.
Perfect. Okay, now if people want to purchase the product, where would they go to find the makeup bullet?
Well, it is available, as I said, through Ulta, through their web platform, so ulta.com. Or if you're strolling through a Dillard's with an Edge Beauty, that's kind of their special beauty section with all the beauty innovation and the cool brands that are kind of trending and happening and hot. It's there. Themakeupbullet.com. I do sell through my website too. Right now, the huge push is the online through Ulta. And yeah.
Okay, good deal. Now let me ask you this question.
Sure.
What advice would you have for the entrepreneur out there, the person that has an idea, but they have not brought it from idea to concept to production? What advice would you give for them?
Well, it really depends on what the idea is as far as how you're going to go about it, of course. But somebody in some industry knows how to make what you want to make. I did not go the route of the advertised like invention companies and that kind of thing. I can't speak to those because I pretty much researched and did it on my own. If you can find any type of mentor that works in the industry, and you know, non-disclosures, always have people sign things. But I think sometimes people are frozen in fear about stepping out on concepts because they think, oh, somebody's going to steal it, and they never do anything. So just be very practical about who you speak with and how, because if you do call somebody at a company, and depending on what your idea is, I mean, who's to say that somebody's not working on something like that? And what I started with, because I have lots of ideas, but the one that I started with was close within my wheelhouse of beauty. And I like to use the analogy of, you know, we just live in life. You think of things that would improve existence. And you say, ooh, if the toilet had this thing on it, that would make it. Yeah, you invent that and you're going to be at plumbing conventions for like the next 4 years. Is that how you want to spend your time? It might be, but just know it's going to be all consuming. So I think, and it becomes your life. So do things and pursue things that you're going to enjoy the space that you're going to be in, because it's going to become your life. Those are going to be the people you're going to be around. So just, you know that moving forward. And like I said, just because something is difficult or you think it might be silly or whatever, I don't think that's any reason not to pursue it, because it could just be as simple as a phone call that you make. And you might meet somebody you might talk to someone who sparks something else in your mind from that conversation. And you say, oh, I need to tweak this. The Small Business Administration.
Yes.
If you're a woman, well, not necessarily, but the ACE Women's Business Center, because they always share information. The SBDC, I'm a member of the DeKalb Chamber. there are so many government agencies that give free advice. SCORE. I have a meeting at the SBA coming up, or one of the agencies with the SBA coming up in about a week. I constantly am knocking on their doors and in their offices because as an independent entrepreneur, that free advice is priceless, you know?
It is.
So I say, running ideas by them, getting training. I did a 5-week intensive class with other entrepreneurs through the SBDC. And they were all entrepreneurs in other industries, but yet we learned from one another. So that having that peer group to see what does it take to do this, go to a meetup. I mean, just find a way to jump in to see if it's something that you want to pursue, that you're willing to put the work and effort in, and don't get so wrapped up in this is going to cost a lot of money and I don't have any. Right. Because you'll be paralyzed for, who knows
Forever.
how long. Yeah. But I say just do it because sometimes just look at where you'll be mentally if you don't do it. You're just going to constantly be in regret.
Right.
But if you try it, then you eliminate the what if from your mind, and then you can, have some some peace about your spirit, knowing that I did try, I didn't give up on it. So that's what I say. It might sound a little existential and a little woo, but really, I'm a faith woman, and I really believe that if you start making steps towards something, towards a dream, a vision, a goal, then your path 9 times out of 10 is not going to be where you thought it was. But you're going to be so happy once you get over to this other place. You're like, oh my God, I didn't even know this was possible. So that's what I say.
Fair enough. Now, listen, an hour goes by really, really quick when you speak to somebody who's passionate about what they do, who has vision. You have vision. We need more vision like this in our communities. Now, here's the first thing I want to applaud you for, first of all, for taking that step and starting. Just like you said, a lot of people get a concept, an idea, but they never start for whatever reason. You started and you made a way. You're to be commended for that. You're also partnering with your husband. You're influencing your children. We need more of that. And I don't just mean influencing with negative stuff, but I mean with influencing with a greater vision of what they can do, because each generation just has to keep getting progressively better. So you two are to be commended on that. I'd like to thank you for coming out and spending time with us.
I thank you for having me. This was such a treat.
Wonderful.
I love sharing what I've learned. I mean, what I know is probably like this, and then what I don't know is probably like this, but what I do know, I'm happy to share.
Good deal. Now, we have one last video. We're going to close on that video.
Oh, gosh.
This is an easy video. We'll look at this one. We'll take a look at this, and then we'll be back shortly with hour number 2. Listen, this is Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffrey L. Miller every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can call us at 478-569-6474. Follow us on social media. Twitter, Instinct_radio. Instagram, Instinct Radio. Facebook, Instinct Radio Station. Periscope, Instinct_radio. And you can email us at instinctradiolive@gmail.com. You can find me on social media at Talk with Jeffrey everywhere, except for Snapchat for now. But eventually, I'll have a Snapchat. I still don't get the point of it, but I'm coming around to Snapchat. I'm going to be on all the social media platforms very soon. Let's take a look at this video. Here we go.
Calling number 69. Show me, girl, why you're the one. I'm looking at your resume. The part is yours, so let's play. Let's take it to the dressing room. I got just the part for you. I'm digging what I'm seeing. If seeing is believing, then girl, I'm believing in you. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. That dress is fitting you. Those heels are killing too. I'm loving your sex appeal. The way you work it slow, you better be careful. It just might get physical. You got me saying, let's get up out this dressing room. Girl, it's looking good on you. I'm digging what I'm seeing. If seeing is believing, then girl, I'm believing in you. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. Tonight is your night for recognition. Baby, you deserve it. And act like you need some attention. You know you're worth it, girl. In my eyes, you need to be rewarded, baby. Now come on over here and get it from me. Let's make this movie. Baby. Baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Yeah. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Cameras flashing. Let's make a movie. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. Anything you want, anything you need, I'm gonna give it to you. I can make you happy. Girl, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. Girl, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. Girl, I got it. The right remedy, it's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. Girl, I got it. Might as well sing to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Let me take your left hand, add a nice ring to it. Take your wardrobe and add a little gleam to it. Gucci bag, Prada shoes, Italian cars we can do. Girl, we riding real pretty up in the city. Buy it out every bar. Broke dude next to you, no he can't take you far, no he can't take you far. Cause he weren't about who you are and I just bought out the bar. Girl, I got it, the right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. I got it, I got it, I got it. Girl, I got it, girl, I got it, girl, I got it, girl, I got it, girl, I got it. Maybe more than you can turning up the Vandross. Baby, it's my birthday, come and get a handful. Put your lips like this and blow out these candles. Come and make memories, face one camera. Come and take a picture, please. You know you got it when your girl, she's a Louis V. They say I'm sick, so come in here, I got the remedy. I got it. What's a king without a queen? Didn't see it coming, not even my wildest dreams. Come to my bedroom and we can do big things, big things. Girl, I got it. The right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. I got it, I got it, I got it, girl, 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 I got it, bought it, bagged it and brought it. If it's about some flash, best believe I'm on it. Whispered in your ear, girl, tell me where you want it. Tell me where you want it. Tell me where you want it. Let's pop this bottle. Let's toast to the good life. Let's do this again, cause I had a good night. Girl, I got it. The right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. Girl, I got it. 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 Girl, I got it.
I told you, baby, I got it. Anything you want, anything you need, count on me.
Monroe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Girl, shut it down.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Girl, shut it down. Girl, you know I feel they got nothing on you. Shorty in those heels, you sexy 6'2". Baby girl, you know you gonna shut this mother down. That familiar sound, you a pro, you know just what to do. Go and tell your mama you're chilling with a baller. Go and tell your sister you're drinking on Bacardi. Baby girl, it's the juice that's making you dance. Unlike the way you dance, yeah, you got everybody watching. Girl, it's your show, yeah. Yeah, 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 girl, shut it down. I can see, girl, you're tatted on your chest. I know you have more, can't wait to see the rest. Let me be your trainer, I'ma make that body sweat. All the girls is mad, even they can see you bad. I like the way that booty is moving real fast. Pretty brown eyes, you slid up in a jag. Never found a dude who can put you in the mood, who can make you shake that booty real fast, just like that. Unlike the way you dance, yeah, babe, got everybody watching. Girl, it's your show. Girl, it's your show. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Girl, shut it down.
Dance, dance, move to the string, put the text on my hand. Wanna be my puppet in a circle, everybody wanna spectate. All the other girls wanna hate, cause they ain't got that booty, ain't got them looks, ain't got them eyes, no them thighs. Everybody else see that girl bust and split, doing a butterfly, now they surprised. Now she like to do it, she like to dance, she do a thing like she single, don't got a man. I like them girls that could work it. Mrs. Twerkaholic, but to me she perfect.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, baby.
And keep it up, girl. They can talk about us, but I don't give a. Go ahead
Do your thing,
and
baby.
back it up, girl.
Like
I'm
that.
not a juvenile, I'm a grown man, girl. Unlike the way you
like it,
dance,
baby.
you got everybody watching. I like it, baby. Yeah, yeah. I know, shut it down, baby. Shut it down. Anything you want, anything you need, I'm gonna give it to you. I can make you happy. Girl, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. Girl, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. Girl, I got it. The right remedy, it's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. Girl, I got it, might as well sing to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Let me take your left hand, add a nice ring to it. Take your wardrobe and add a little gleam to it. Gucci bag, Prada shoes, Italian cars we can do. Girl, we riding real pretty, up in the city, buy it out every bar. Broke dude next to you, no he can't take you far, no he can't take you far. Cause he weren't about who you are and I just bought out the bar. Girl, I got it, the right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. I got it, I got it, I got it. Girl, I got it, girl, I got it, girl, I got it, girl, I got it, girl, I got it. Maybe more than you can handle. Penthouse escape, I'm turning up the Vandross. Baby, it's my birthday, come and get a handful. Put your lips like this and blow out these candles. Come and make memories, face one camera. Come and take a picture, please. You know you got it when your girl, she's a Louis V. They say I'm sick, so come in here, I got the remedy. I got it. What's a king without a queen? Didn't see it coming, not even my wildest dreams. Come to my bedroom and we can do big things, big things. Girl, I got it, the right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. I got it, I got it, I got it, girl, 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 I got it. Bought it, bagged it in. It's about some flash. Best believe I'm on it. Whispered in your ear, girl. Tell me where you want it. Tell me where you want it. Tell me where you want it. Let's pop this bottle. Let's toast to the good life. Let's do this again, cause I had a good night. Girl, I got it, the right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. Girl, I got it, 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 girl, I got it.
I told you, baby, I got it. Anything you want, anything you need, count on me.
I'm calling number 69. Show me, girl, why you're the one. I'm looking at your resume. The part is yours, so let's play. Let's take it to the dressing room. I got just the part for you. I'm digging what I'm seeing. If seeing is believing, then girl, I'm believing in you. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. That dress is fitting you. Those heels are killing too. I'm loving your sex appeal. The way you work get physical. You got me saying, let's get up out this dressing room. Girl, it's looking good on you. I'm digging what I'm seeing. If seeing is believing, then girl, I'm believing in you. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. Tonight is your night for recognition. Baby, you deserve it. And act like you need some attention. You know you're worth it, girl. In my eyes, you need to be rewarded, baby. Now come on over here and get it from me. Let's make this movie. Baby, baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Yeah, let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Cameras flashing. Let's make a movie. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, Fizzle, Fizzle. And this is Instinct Radio, man. Tune in, baby. Oh, boy.
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
Who is that on the radio?
You really want to know who's on the radio? Come on. Let's talk about it.
Jeffrey. Let's talk about it live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Watching is the best decision you'll ever make. Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Call or text in live 478-569-6474. Hashtag Let's Talk with Jeffrey. Check us out on www.instinctradio.net or download the Instinct Radio app in your Apple or your Google Play Store.
Let's give them something to talk about.
It's almost showtime, people. Let's tune in to see what Jeffrey has in store for us tonight. And here's your host, Jeffrey L. Miller.
All right, Facebook family, Instinct Radio, Instagram family. We are back with Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffrey L. Miller. Every Saturday from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m., this is what we do. You can text us or you can call us at 478-569-6474. 478-569-6474. Now, last hour we were talking to Eva, and Eva was telling us about the makeup bullet. I learned some stuff about makeup that I never knew. I probably will never put to use ever. But it was a great interview. I love talking to entrepreneurs and people like that in our community that are doing things, but you know what time it is. It's time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions. I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why they might be single, but here is my disclaimer. Now, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you, and if it doesn't apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes, walk around in them, because you're going to learn something tonight. Ladies, you are first. Ladies, you might be single because you've been single so long that you don't know anything else other than being single. And you got your own system in place. And that system works for you. You got a maintenance man that comes around to fix your plumbing whenever you need it. And you get things done on your own. So why risk all of that for a relationship? Trying to trust a guy that he has a good system that'll work with your system. Why go through that hassle? Here's why you do it, ladies. Sometimes what you bring to the table and what he brings to the table creates a power couple. A power couple. And it's going to take a risk. Investments take risk. When you buy a car, it's a risk. That car could be a bad car. But what I want you to understand, ladies, it's the best risk ever, because when you get it right, there's nothing like it. Now, you can keep playing it safe all you want to. You can stay with your, system that works for you, and that, that's your choice. But what's going to end up now, if you get a guy, even a good guy, and you refuse to let him in, even after he's earned some consideration, well, that brother's going to leave your ass single and find a woman that's much more open to partnering with him. Don't be that stubborn, ladies. Don't be that stubborn. All right, Brother Monroe, welcome to the show. What do you think about that?
Yeah, what's up, Jeffrey?
All right, sir.
Everything you're saying is 100% correct.
Okay.
It takes work.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in life takes work, as far as a relationship, career, anything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people get together and they don't want to put the work in. As soon as you get somebody have an argument, they want to dismiss each other. Like they want to look on their flaws.
Mm-hmm.
Every man and every woman is unique in God's eye. So, and then a lot of people think the grass is green on the other side. It's the same thing. When you go to the next person, it's the same thing, because you ain't put the work in. When you get over there to the next relationship, you still got to put that work in.
Absolutely.
I was telling that to a partner of mine the other day. He was like saying all these different things about this female that moved in with him. I said it's gonna take work. If you don't put the work in, when you go to the next relationship, it's gonna be the same thing.
Same thing.
So you just gotta believe in the person that you with and work with them. I mean, everybody you gonna have your differences, as far as but you gotta communicate. It's about communication.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now, fellas, don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook, because that independent-minded woman is successful. Fellas, you're next. Here we go. Fellas, you expect the woman to give you the old school treatment while you got new school attitudes and behaviors and work ethic. That's not how it works. Now, you come to the relationship thinking the woman's going to do everything for you, cater to you, take care of you, cook for you, clean for you, do all this stuff for you while she goes to work. Now, what you expecting her to do is to mother you. Mother you. Now, that single woman has probably already got children. And if she doesn't have time for that type of foolishness. If you want old school treatment from a woman, you have to give her old school treatment yourself. And that means if you want to be the boss, you got to pay the cost in work ethic, in leadership, in protection, in strength, in what you bring to the table, being much more, if not equal to, what she's bringing to the table. The modern woman isn't going to put up with that old school desire you got unless you bring in some serious old school work ethic and treatment. As long as you don't do that, well, the modern woman is going to leave your ass single. Brother Monroe, what do you think?
I think you're correct, bro. You got to bring something to the table.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a job or wealth, it ain't really got to be wealth, money. As long as you got a potential, because it takes two. It's two minds is better than one. And when you got a good woman or a good man, two minds together, y'all can conquer the world. A lot of people, I ain't gonna say a lot of females, I'm saying, but some females, when you say me or you against the world, she don't even know what that is. So I had experience like that. But when you find somebody that it's me and you against the world, forget the rest, then y'all can conquer anything.
Agreed. All right, well, let's talk about it. Welcome to the show, first of all, Brother Monroe. Tell everybody about you, what you do, and tell us about your music, and then we'll get into it.
My name is Monroe, the Royal One in the building. I'm an R&B pop artist out of Atlanta. I'm from Virginia. I've been doing my thing for years, doing different venues, working with major producers. My single, Let's Make a Movie, been on, it was number 4 on the national DRT charts. So, man, I'm doing it independent, but on a major scale. I'm just grinding. You know, grinding these streets, grinding different shows, venues, radio stations, interviews. I'm just grinding like everybody else.
Understood. Okay, well, let me ask you this question now. How did you get into music? What got you started?
Well, my mom, when I was a little boy, she I used to watch her when I was a little boy.
Okay.
And she passed away when I was like 5 years old.
Oh, sorry to hear about that. Wow.
But it was like me seeing her, and then me doing the music is like, when I hear myself, it's like unbelievable. You know, I know it's a God-given talent, but when I think about back when she was doing it, my family said she was great too. So everything I'm doing now is like for her legacy. It's really not for me, but it's for her legacy. My legacy gonna begin in a few, and it's gonna be about my daughter.
Understood.
But how I got started is from my mom.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, now let's talk about Let's Make a Movie. Now we're gonna play this one in just a moment. What was the thought process in creating that song?
Really, I was working with this guy still working with him, Jay Mills. A lot of people heard of him in Atlanta. He in LA right now. How I met him, you ever heard that song called Tat 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 It Up? Tat,
Yes.
Tat.
Yes.
Ty Cutter, he was in a group called Alliance. And I met him at, I was on the street grinding my CDs in front of Lenox Mall when I first moved here. And he bought the CD from me and gave me his number, so he do beats. So I'm always looking for new producers.
Sure.
Never heard his material. I thought he was a regular producer like everybody else in Atlanta grinding. But when I heard his stuff, it was like unique. So then I ended up buying a beat from him, me and my brother. And from there, I was coming back and forth to Atlanta. And then he told me he got a producer that do R&B, his homeboy. So when he introduced me to him, is that being in the right place at the right time. He introduced me to him. So I started going around them. And then I started saying he was working with.
Stay right into the mic so they can hear you.
He was working with he was working at the studio, the same studio Lord, the singer Lord from Atlanta.
Yes.
We was working out that studio, and I used to see all different type of like Chingy, Lil Sammy, some of everybody that was doing some major stuff back then. Walked through the studio, and I knew right then I was with the right people.
Good deal.
And then I started doing hooks for this one rap artist they was putting together. They had a big movement for him. And then I was just doing hooks. They was doing a big movement for him. I was doing my own thing. I had my own lane, but I was like letting them know I was supporting y'all, which I was doing.
Right.
And I used to ask him, yeah, when you gonna do some stuff for me? And it was like, wait, yeah, hold on, man. Just gotta be patient, man, 'cause I be working with him. And I didn't get frustrated because I knew I was doing my own thing. And then one day they kind of like fell out because over some contract stuff. And then I was like, oh no, I forgot where I was at. Man, I was eating some Chinese food, and I got a call. He said, yo, what you doing? Jay Mills. And I said, I'm eating right now, man. I just finished grinding. He's like, come to the studio. I got this track for you. And when I walked in the building, I said, I'll be there. I was excited because when I asked him, he said, hold on.
Yes.
Then that time finally came.
Right.
I ain't like get mad at him, get jealous and like that, because I was doing work for him. I was like, all right. When that time came, he was like, he called me and said, yo, I got a track for you. So when I walked in the building, Let's Make a Movie, beat was playing. And I was like, who was that for? He said, that's for you.
Okay.
And then from there, man, I started writing. And he called some other people in, and we put it together. Hit.
Good deal. That's what we want to hear. All right, so we're going to play Let's Make a Movie now, then we'll come back and talk about it some more. Here we go. First track, this is Monroe. Let's Make a Movie.
I'm calling number 69. Show me, girl, why you're the one. I'm looking at your resume. The part is yours, so let's play. Let's take it to the dressing room. I got just the part for you. I'm digging what I'm seeing. If seeing is believing, then girl, I'm believing in you. start killing too. I'm loving your sex appeal. The way you work it slow, you better be careful. It just might get physical. You got me saying, let's get up out this dressing room. Girl, it's looking good on you. I'm digging what I'm seeing. If seeing is believing, then girl, I'm believing in you. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. Tonight is your night for recognition. Baby, you deserve it. And act like you need some attention. You know you're worth it, girl. In my eyes, you need to be rewarded, baby. Now come on over here and get it from me. Let's make this movie. Baby, baby, you're a star. Cameras flashing. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Baby, you're a star. Yeah, let's make a movie. Baby, play your part. Let's make a movie. Cameras flashing. Let's make a movie.
By Monroe. Now, listen, Monroe, when you were writing this music, tell me what inspired you lyrically. I kind of think I know what you're talking about, but just spell it out for us.
Mainly when I heard the beat, like when I get a beat from a producer and they playing it, the beat tell me what to write. It ain't like I'm searching for something. It's like it's that talent that God gave me, the God-given talent, and I give God all the praise and I give him all the credit. But when I hear the beat, it tells me what to write. Like I don't be searching. Like I don't write anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't be going back and forth. I come up with something, then I let like I'm like let Jay hear it, and then he was like, switch this around. And when I do it, it's like,
okay.
So. And the Hennessy.
Never hurts, huh?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So let me ask you this question. Who are some of your biggest musical influences?
Marvin Gaye, Brian McKnight, definitely Michael Jackson, Prince, Avant.
Okay.
Joe. I got to say R. Kelly, too. Even though, R. Kelly personal life, I just heard, in the media, I don't know everything 100%. I don't know. But I'm saying as far as his career.
Right.
R. Kelly. Mainly that's, and number one, my mom.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. So when it comes to the music right now, one song that you have, this one's Private Party. We're going to listen to that one next. Now, when you were thinking about the beat, what did the beat tell you about Private Party?
Now, on that particular track, I already had the hook.
Okay.
And then the one, like I said, Ty, the one that did Tied It Up, he I sung the hook to him, and he did the beat right on the spot, like 5 minutes, and I went in the studio and knocked that out. I was when I did that, that was like probably for a party song. It's a private party. You got to know somebody to get in this party.
Okay.
Because there's no telling who you might see inside this joint. So mainly that's a private. Everybody have private parties.
Right.
Like private gatherings, and that's mainly what it's about. It's about it's a private party. You got to know somebody to get up in here. So that's what I was mainly thinking about.
Okay, yeah. Good deal. So we're going to listen to this next one. This song is Private Party. The thing I like about this one, it's going to grab you real quick. So when we hear it, If you start dancing in your seat, don't worry, it's just the music. Let's listen to it. Private Party.
It's imperative that you be here. Up in the club, the VIP, you need to be here. But you gotta know somebody if you want up in here. Trust me, you will have a blast. If you got a pass, you can be here.
It's a private party, and you got to know somebody to get in this party. There's no telling who you might see up in this joint. It's a private party, and you got to know somebody to get in this party. There's no telling who you might see up in this joint. It's ladies' night, and the club is packed, and I got one thing on my mind, and that's loving you, girl, impressing you, girl. Diamond ring with my platinum chain. What you drinking on? Hypnotic and what you want. I got that goose, girl, by his neck, girl. I'm glad you made it, baby, inside this private party. So get your drink on, girl.
Now, Monroe, listen. I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
That's what's
Now,
up.
now, when you have something like this going on and you premiere it for people, tell me the reaction you got when you first played this before, a listening audience, or you got a polling on it.
They was jamming to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my audience is majority females.
Okay.
So I know if I get the females, the guys gonna come.
Okay.
So when females, like I said, when they hear it, they start jamming.
Mm-hmm.
They start jamming to it. It's a party song.
Good deal.
So it's like kick off your shoes type. I had a hard day at work. It's the weekend. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. All right, now let me ask you this question. Now, there are a lot of entertainers out there right there, a lot of talented people, men and women. What sets you apart with your musical style?
What set me apart? My grind, my being consistent. I'm my own boss, off my own label, my own money, my own team, and God guided my footsteps. And what really set me apart is I sold as an independent. I sold 40,000 CDs on the street.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I'm just like everybody else. One leg at a time. As far as putting your clothes on. But as an artist, my hooks are catchy.
Okay.
So I'm a hit maker.
All right, got it. Now, that said, what do you think about the current state of the music industry, whether it be R&B or hip hop? What do you think about what's out there right now?
I can't knock on any artist that's getting money.
Okay.
Everybody got their own. Some people like rock.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like classic. Some people like Jamaican music. What's playing right now on the radio? Of course, people are gonna say, "I can't believe that's on the radio," but somebody put some money behind it.
Okay.
Somebody believing in it. Somebody you don't know someone grind. Even though you hear a song on the radio from an artist that you think that's crap, you don't know his grind, what he been through to get to that point.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they look at it as a fan, as a consumer, not as a business. On the business end, that artist, he got to be doing something if you're on the radio. Even though it might sound like it ain't like the music back in the day, you know what I'm saying, the OJs and the Marvin Gaye's and all that, Patti LaBelle's and all that, but in this generation, they spending money and they getting rich.
Okay.
It's about the grind.
Okay. All right, I get it. All right, so now we've listened to Private Party. Now we got another one coming up. This is I Got It. Now, I Got It. Tell me what you were thinking when you would put this one together.
I Got It is mainly, I was thinking about as a black man coming from nothing into something, telling a female, I got you. I got it. Not to the point where I'm trying to impress her, but let her know that I got it. I've been grinding.
Mm-hmm.
I've been grinding this music for years. Now you seeing my hard work paying off.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I got it now.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So we're gonna listen to the next track. This one is called "I've Got It." This is Monroe. Here we go. Let's play it.
Anything you want, anything you need, I'm gonna give it to you. I can make you happy. Girl, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Girl, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Girl, I got it. The right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. Girl, I got it. Might as well sing to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen. Do it. Let me take your left hand, add a nice ring to it. Take your wardrobe and add a little gleam to it. Gucci bag, Prada shoes. Italian cars we can do. Girl, we riding real pretty up in the city, buying out every bar. Broke dude next to you, no he can't take you far, no he can't take you far. Cause he weren't about who you are, and I just bought out the bar. Girl, I got it, the right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. I got it, I got it, I got it, girl, 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 I got it. Maybe more than you can handle. Pimp house escape, I'm turning up the Vandross. Baby, it's my birthday, come and get a handful. Put your lips like this and blow out these candles. Come and make memories, phase one camera. Come and take a picture, please. You know you got it when your girl, she's a Louis V. They say I'm sick, so come in here, I got the remedy. I got it. What's a king without a queen? Didn't see it coming, not even my wildest dreams. Come to my bedroom, and we can do big things, big things. Girl, I got it. The right remedy. It's called cash money. It can turn your frown into a smile. I got it. I got it. I got it.
All right, I'm digging it. Now, who produced that one for you?
J Mills.
Okay, and the track, everything J Mills?
J Mills, yeah. J Mills did Let's Make a Movie.
Mm-hmm.
He did I Got It. He did a few other ones too. He recorded it been Private Party.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Cutter did that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now you've been doing a lot of touring and everything like that. Tell us some of the people you've toured with.
I did stuff with Trey Songz.
Mm-hmm.
Opened up for Brownstone. Did some stuff with Mac 10. Mac 10.
Mm-hmm.
Did some stuff with some of everybody, man.
Got it. What about Silk? You ever opened up with Silk?
Yeah, Silk. Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day when Silk was doing the thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Silk. And then done a lot of stuff on my own, like a lot of colleges and stuff like that.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. How is it like, touring? Now, I've never done any types of tours, but tell us about life touring.
I mean, it's getting money, being on a big platform, other artists doing their thing, learning, and just having fun, living life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right. So now we played a couple of your songs. We got one last one, but before we get to the last song, tell me about the song that you've written that meant the most to you, the one that was the most personal song you've ever written.
The most personal one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that one.
Yeah, I don't have it. So you have to tell me about it now.
It's called I Wish I Never Fell in Love.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pop song.
Uh-huh.
I can email it to you.
Oh, we're good. Just
Okay.
tell us about what inspired you to write that one.
I was in a relationship and it didn't work out. The same thing I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
When you put the work in, she was already in a relationship prior to me for like years, and that didn't work out. I guess he cheated on her and she left him, but her heart was still there.
Got it.
You know, like, and I wish I never fell in love. You know what I'm saying? Like, mainly. I mean, everybody say that they wish they never fell in love, or they wish it never happened. But I'm glad I went through that because I went through it for a reason to learn from it.
Right.
And that's mainly what that song is about. That's my most personal song. I think out of all the songs that I have written, that was the most personal song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. All right. So now on a different note, we have Shut It Down. Now tell us about Shut It Down.
Shut It Down is about a female that can dance real good.
Okay.
And you know how a lot of females, they be in the club, they be dancing among their girlfriends. It be all these guys in the club, but they want to dance with their girlfriends.
Okay.
And she been drinking. So you know when you drinking, you feel like you shutting it down.
Okay.
And people looking, and some females that can, like can really dance. She got a crowd and people watching her, and that's mainly about what the song is about. Shut It Down.
Okay, good deal, good deal. So we're gonna play this one next up. Now this one, Shut It Down. This is Monroe. The music is called Shut It Down. Here we go.
This is the first time it's been aired too.
This is a world premiere. A world. I'm showing my age. That's back in BET days. Y'all know nothing about that. Y'all know nothing about that.
Girl, shut it down. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Girl, shut it down. Girl, you know I feel they got nothing on you. Shorty in those heels, you sexy 6'2". Baby girl, you know you gonna shut this mother down. That familiar sound, you a pro, you know just what to do. Go and tell your mama you're chilling with a baller. Go and tell your sister you're drinking on Bacardi. Baby girl, it's the juice that's making you dance. Unlike the way you dance, yeah, you got everybody watching. Girl, it's your show, yeah. Girl, shut it down. I can see, girl, you're tatted on your chest. I know you have more. Can't wait to see the rest. Let me be your trainer. I'ma make that body sweat. All the girls is mad, even they can see you bad. I like the way that booty is moving real fast. Pretty brown eyes, you slid up in a jag. Never found a dude who can put you in the mood, who can make you shake that booty real fast, just like that. Unlike the way you dance, yeah, babe. You got everybody watching. Girl, it's your show. Girl, it's your show.
Move to this one. Different mood. So when you were putting this one together and you were thinking about the track, this has just put you in a different mind frame?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Ned, bring it back up. I didn't hear the rapping. Oh, who's the rapper?
F Dirty.
Okay.
He sound like from Outkast. He sound like
Andre 3000.
Yeah.
I heard that, a little bit of Ludacris, but this is all him. He's doing good. Okay, good deal. I'm sorry. Now, when you heard the track, the song immediately started coming to you, like you said before.
Came to me.
Okay.
I did the hook, and then I recorded the hook. Then I started writing to the verses, and then once I did the verses, I went in the studio and did the verses. Then I was recording with the rapper. We was doing some stuff with him. I got this song with him called Heartbeat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's big. I told him after he finished doing his part on Heartbeat, I told Jay Mills, he the one recorded this too. He didn't do the beat, but he do all majority of all my recording. And I told him to bring this track up. And then when he brought the track up, I told Dirty, go in the booth and see what you can do. And he did it, no writing, like top of his head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And it came out like that. I was like, we got one.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned a couple of times that you're grinding, you're on your grind. Now when you're in the studio, how many hours are you in the studio to put a one song together?
2 hours. Let's Make a Movie. I slept in the studio overnight with that song.
Okay.
So but it's a learning thing. But majority songs now, I do 2 hours, and I'm through because my voice. I ain't trying to, like, I ain't gonna you don't get no more at me.
Got it.
Like, if I got 2 hours. 2 hours, I'm good. I'm gonna get what I want out of them 2 hours, and then if I ain't got it, majority of the time, if I go in the studio with Mills, I'm gonna come out sounding like that in 2 hours.
Okay.
Like it's finished.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, so let me ask you this question now. There have been things like the auto tune and the different mechanisms that people would put behind their voices to improve the sound.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to being able to sing a cappella,
Yeah.
how can you hold up?
I mean,
I'm not gonna ask you to sing tonight. I'm just saying.
Hold my own. I mean, I do something you want me to.
No, we see now if you can do it now. All right, now here we go. I wasn't calling them out. I was just asking, but here we go.
Tonight is a sexy night, and the ladies looking so nice, and the only thing on their mind is that Money. Tonight is a sexy night, and the moon is so bright. There's a star in here tonight that I need in my life. Tonight is a sexy night, sexy night, sexy night, sexy night.
All right. Not afraid to step up to the mic and do it. Nothing wrong with that at all. That answers the question.
I hold my own.
There you go. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, what do you want people to know about you and your music?
Just the talent of an artist that's grinding from the bottom to the top, not strictly going to the studio, record, and throw it out there to you. It's like from the studio to the streets, like one-on-one personal with the fans, talking to them, letting them hear it, and they buying it. Majority of my contacts is in my shows. Like, we done a show over in Thailand, me and my brother, all because people meet me on the street. I met him in Columbus. I was in Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
Grinding the street in a parking lot of some grocery store, man. And the guy brother bought the CD. He gave the CD to his brother. They was doing something in Thailand, and they put us on the show.
Good
so
deal.
Majority of people that I have met in my career is because me being on the street. Like it's like being in the right place at the right time. It's like when I say I met Ty Cutter, the one that did Tied It Up. I met him on the street.
Good deal.
At Lenox Mall. So just me being humble, and it ain't just about my music. It's more me as a person, as a God-fearing man, and just doing good things in the communities. And I also got this jingle called Guns Down. Mainly going around to different cities, educating the kids about different things about guns that put them down. Like, you ain't got to use a gun to let somebody know that you got power, because guns don't give you power. So, yeah.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. What's coming up? What's the next project you got coming?
I got a project called Heavy Rotation, mainly what you just heard, and some more other songs. Heavy Rotation is about different songs, not just R&B, pop, something that everybody gonna be able to relate to when they listen to my project. You ain't gonna skip. You ain't skipping. So when you listen to my stuff, you're gonna listen to it all the way through, and go to the next song, or you're gonna go back and rewind it and keep listening until you get to the next song. So Heavy Rotation is that project is coming.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, if people wanted to get in contact with you or they wanted to purchase your music, how could they do that?
iTunes, I'm on all digital stores. Monroe, Monroe. Let's Make a Movie. Monroe, Let's Make a Movie. You can hit me up on Instagram, Monroe, Monroe 007. Same thing on Twitter, Monroe 007. Not 00, but 00, like Monroe 007.
Okay, got it. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, listen. Now, tonight we've had some really talented business owners, entrepreneurs, one in the makeup field, one in the music industry. This is important to bringing around change in our community.
Yes.
Because when we have people who own the product, we're spending money and turning it over in our communities. That's one thing that we don't do enough.
Yeah.
Money circulates in our community for about 2 or 3 minutes. 2 or 3 minutes, or it might be hours. 2 or 3 hours, but not long enough is the point.
Then it's gone.
It's gone. There are some communities that it stays in there almost a month, if not a month, before it leaves their community. The only way we get to do that is if we have more businesses that are run by business owners that look like us in our communities.
Exactly.
That's the key to improving our current condition. Now, I want to thank you for coming out. Any parting words for the people out there?
Man, thanks for having me. Thank y'all for sitting around listening of y'all time. And stay focused. Put your trust in God to the fullest, to the fullness, and just keep believing in yourself. Don't take no for no answer, because take a no to on. It takes time. Anything in life, it takes time. That you got to put work in. It's not no overnight success. And yes, you do get frustrated. But at the same time, you got to look towards the front, not the left and the right. Don't look. I tell people, don't look to the. It's on my team. Don't look to the left or the right, because that's distraction.
Right.
When you look to the front, that's where the light at.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Words of wisdom. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
All right, what we're going to do to end the show is we're going to end on your music. We'll just play it out. You know, I want to do party.
Private party.
Private party. That's the one that I like the most. So we'll start with Private Party, then we'll go to Let's Make a Movie, and then we'll just close the show out that way. Listen, everybody, every Saturday from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m., it's Let's Talk About It Live with Jeffrey L. Miller right here on Instinct Radio. I need you to follow us on social media. On Twitter, Instinct_radio. Instagram, Instinct Radio. Facebook, Instinct Radio Station. Periscope, Instinct_radio. Email us at instinctradiolive@gmail.com. You can find me at Talk with Jeffrey. I almost forgot my own hashtag. Talk with Jeffrey on every social media platform. Not quite yet, but Snapchat is coming soon. Not quite yet, though. Not there yet, but one day it's going to be there. All social media, Talk with Jeffrey, hashtag. This has been a whole lot of fun. I enjoy it. I have a blast every Saturday, but I am out.
Yeah. This is for the grown and sexy. So proud.
It's imperative that you be here. Up in the club, the VIP, you need to be here. But you gotta know somebody if you want up in here. Trust me, you will have a blast. If you got a pass, you can be here.
It's a private party, and you got to know somebody to get in this party. There's no telling who you might see up in this joint. It's a private party, and you got to know somebody to get in this party. There's no telling who you might see up in this joint. It's ladies night, and the club is packed, and I got one thing on my mind, and that's loving you, girl, impressing you, girl. Diamond ring with my platinum chain. What you drinking on? Hypnotic and what you want. I got that goose, girl, by his neck, girl. I'm glad you made it, baby, inside this private party. So get your drink on, girl. It's a private party. It's a private party, and you got to know somebody to get in this party. There's no telling who you might see up in this joint. It's a private party, and you got to know somebody to get in this party. There's no telling who you might see up in this joint. Now it's crunk in here, and the spot is jumping. Bottles popping, crystal we sipping. I got my dog with me, he just two-way me. I'm in VIP, drinking bubbly. So girl, follow me into VIP. Yes, you can bring your friend, so she can meet my friend, and we can all be friends and switch and have
celebrity live, baby. We got the crystal and more in VIP. Can't get in unless you know somebody in VIP. Patron shots, seeing who we trying to invest in. Highly celebrated, you know me and Roe was destined. Now we're holding lots of meetings with powerful scholars. In the teleconference calls over powerful dollars. A highly anticipated atmosphere in the club. And don't need a pickup line, I'm just picking you up.
Calling number 69. Show me, girl, why you're the one. I'm looking at your resume. The party's yours, so let's play. Let's take it to the dressing room. I got just the part for you. I'm digging what I'm seeing. If seeing is believing, then girl, I'm believing in you. Let's make a movie. Are killing too. I'm loving your sex appeal. The way you work it slow, you better be careful. It just might get physical. You got me saying, let's get up out this dressing room. Girl, it's looking good on you.